3 recipes for authentic Mexican nachos.
Delicious, cheesy,
Nachos
authentic
sound good.
nachos. Wait. What is an authentic platon of Mexican nachos? Sources online will lead you to a story of the invention of nachos in Piedras Negras, Coahuila, Mexico in 1943, where Ignacio Nacho Anaya first put this dish together. At the time, it was just chips topped with melted shredded cheese and sliced pickled jalapenos. Sound familiar? But since then, nachos have evolved and taken over the globe and added toppings like refried beans, beef, olives, lettuce, salsa, guacamole, chicken, sour cream, and the list goes on and on and on. So I guess I reckon that a plate of authentic nachos might just depend on what rancho you come from. Nachos just might be the nachos, might cream, and the list goes on and on and on. So I guess I reckon
these right here though, for real. With some jalapenos. These right here,
a plate of authentic nachos might just depend on what rancho you come from. Nachos just might be the best example of ain't no right way, ain't no wrong way cooking, and y'all know that's my motto. So in this video, I'm gonna show you the 3 most common recipes that are authentic to me and the rancho I grew up on in Texas and the Rio Grande Valley and along the border. First up is the evolution of nacho chips covered in melted cheese sauce, served and topped with jalapenos. I like to call them ballpark nachos, and they're served at carnivals, festivals, and special events and sports stadiums all over the world. Second, this is kind of close to Ignacio's recipe. I'll show you how to make panchos, which in the RGV is typically chips, refried beans, melted shredded cheese, and jalapenos. Sometimes fajitas or chicken, depending on what restaurant you're at. And third, the botana. No, not that little itty bitty appetizer, the valley botana, which is essentially panchos loaded up with fajitas, guacamole, and other ingredients.
Man.
This dish is the pride and joy, the 956, and what I would call the valley's contribution to the nacho.
What is that like?
I'll share a bit more about that once we get there. Now let's get fired up and cook up some authentic nachos. Vámonos! Now the cheese for ballpark nachos usually always comes in a can. When I first got married, I used to work at a convenience store. I was on the night shift and it was my favorite snack. I would eat nachos literally every day. And we're gonna thin it out with a little bit of water and let's get this fired up. Man, I'd stay up all night, stocking up the store, taking care of customers. We obviously had to hold it in a crock pot, so we would actually use more water to make it really runny because over time it starts to dry out. Now we're talking. Look at that, friends.
Oh, look at that.
Is your mouth watering yet? All right, so we're gonna open this bag of chips. You can pile them high or pile them low. Places, they'll serve the cheese right over the nachos, just like this.
This is fast.
Look at that. Me personally, I like the jalapenos right up here on top. Jalapeno juice will blend with the cheese. If you're a real jalapeno head like me, you can just put some extra ones here on the side. And if you're a cheese head, well then you can go ahead and get some cheese on the side too. All right, friends, so now comes the taste test. Yumbly in the tumbly. Cheers, my friends.
Cheers.
Now let's move on to our homemade nachos, the way Terry and I like to eat it. Vámonos. Now you can buy the chips already at the store. They come in a bag like the one we just showed you guys. At home, we like to make our own. It's really easy. All you do is cut a set of tortillas in half, rotate them around a little bit, cut them in half one more. Showed you guys. At home, we like to make our own. It's really easy. All you do is cut a set of tortillas in half, rotate them around a little bit, cut them in half one more time. So there you have chips, perfectly quartered and ready to go into the oil. Be very careful when you're cooking with hot oil, friends. We're just gonna drop a few of them at a time here. It's better if you do it in batches. That way they fry up really quick and you get them done. Go to another batch. Use something to kind of make sure they move around so they're not on top of each other or stuck.
It's a nice,
make sure they fry really.
This instrument, this cooking utensil. It's a bracket. I don't know. It's a de-oiler. I don't fucking know.
Good.
De-oiler. You fucking
golden brown. That didn't even take maybe a minute. I think they are ready. They have that beautiful color. You want to get them out quick, otherwise they will overcook and be a little too brown. You can also season them. We've seasoned them with our wow, sometimes with just salt, sometimes with salt, pepper, garlic. Just kind of depends on what we're gonna also use that day. They look so nice. I gotta take one more bite. All right, friends, I turned off the little stove. We are done with our chip. Look at that beautiful golden color. We're ready to make our nacho plate. Listen to that snap.
All right, that shit is nice. Man, that's crazy.
We'll shred up some American cheese like this one that we have here today. And then you just want to make sure you have plenty of cheese up here on top. This is one of my mom's favorite snacks too, Mama Tex. When she's hungry and she's watching TV at night in her room, she likes to make nachos. Toss it a little bit, make sure it's loose like that. It makes it a little bit easier to spread around. Then you want to take some jalapenos, spread them around the plate. Do it any way you like. So I'll do them like this, just kind of get them on the outside and around the sides here. This is a simple nacho plate like they were originally made down in Coahuila, Mexico way back in the day. Let's take this inside, put it in our little oven. We're gonna set it in here for about 3 to 4 minutes. Turn this up to high and let that cheese melt. We're gonna let the oven do its magic. When we go from nachos to panchos, the only big difference is beans. So we've already done the refried beans here. We're gonna add a little bit here. And how much is really all up to you, friends. If you don't use beans, they're nachos.
In the fridge,
if you use beans, they're panchos. It's that simple. All right, so we're gonna put a little dollop here, a little dollop there, a little drop here, a little drop there. Let's get our cheese going here.
Cheers.
So we're gonna put a little bit less here because we want to taste the beans. Some places do add meat and some places don't add meat to the panchos. Ain't no right way, ain't no wrong way. Do them the way you like, and you're good to go. And I'm gonna use a little bit less jalapenos this time, not because I had too many, because I didn't, but that way Terry and Mama Tex can have some as well. Let's go get these into the oven. It's time for the taste test. I love me some cheesy nachos. Cheers, my friends.
Cheers.
Oh, yeah. One of our favorite snacks here at home. Quick, easy, delicious. Let's move on to the panchos. All right, friends, our panchos are ready for enjoyment. Look at that delicious goodness. All right, let's give these a taste test. This takes nachos to another level.
So today's the day. I've got my RTA mock system and Coyote appliances.
I'm trying not to be greedy. I've got a hungry mob around me here that's just dying to tear into these. But let me go ahead and let them enjoy these, and I'm gonna get ready for the botana. Boom! Now, as far as I can tell, the botana platter was created in the early 70s by the Roundup restaurant in Far, Texas. And there was an article in Texas Monthly in 1981. Big shout out to Eddie Martinez at Far From Heaven for providing the reference and the history. Let me read what the article said. You're gonna have to force yourself to resist the sumptuous botana platter piled high with fajitas, panchos, and guacamole. And now we know what made the Roundup restaurant so incredibly famous. Enough yippity yap. Let's get to cooking. We're gonna take fajita. Now, some botanas are made with chicken, some are made with chicken and beef. In our case, we're using beef today. If you wanna cut your fajitas, whether it's flank steak or skirt steak, about 3 inches here, more or less. And then you wanna cut your strips somewhere about 1/4 to 3/8 of an inch thick. You don't want them too big so they can cook quick and they make that perfect bite. All right, we're about ready to get these into our pan and start cooking up some delicious fajitas to go with our botana, friends. I have a little bit of homemade beef tallow here from brisket trimmings. So I'm gonna get some of this out here and put it in here. It doesn't take a whole lot. And you wanna cook these fajitas about medium, maybe medium well, because remember they're gonna go into the oven to melt the cheese, so they'll cook a little bit more with that. All right, there we go. It's smoking hot. It's time to cook.
A nice little
Ooh, I love that too.
spatula. Wooden spatula. Is it
Ooh, I love that
No, I don't know.
too. All right, we're gonna cook these up. Make sure you season up your meat. My favorite is the wow when it comes to fajitas, whether on the grill or in the pan. You can get these at pitmaster.us, specifically made for steaks and fajitas. All right, let's stir these up a little bit. Get them going. I just about had my fill of chips, cheese, and beans. It's time for some real protein. Fajitas. Make sure you get your pan nice and hot because these fajitas like to release a little bit of water. That way they cook quicker. Look how beautiful, what a good little sear we have on here. That's what you want when you cook fajitas. All right, I'm gonna go get my platter and prepare our botana. But first, it's
Yeah, try it, of course.
Okay, first things first. Let's put some beans on
try
here.
them all first
You just
before-
kind of want to spread some beans out like this. Some restaurants put a lot of beans, some put a lot more. It's the truth. This is basically all it is. You want a little bit of beans all the way around. You don't want them too runny because it'll get soggy really fast. You want them to be somewhere around stage 2. If you don't know what stage 2 beans is, you need to look at my other video on the 3 stages of refried beans. We're gonna get our cheese. I like to toss it so it gets nice and easy to spread around. And it just makes it a lot easier to just do this. You want to try and get it as even as you can. I'd say that's about the right amount right there. Let's get some fajitas on here. And I'm just gonna kind of throw some of these on here just like that. We're gonna pile some high right here in the middle. You want to get it all the way around.
Oh shit.
Yeah. I thought I was at the disco. And we have our botana ready to go into the oven. So here we go. We'll slide that in there. Let that cheese melt. It's gonna take about 10 minutes, maybe tops. 8 to 10 minutes, we'll be ready to go. All right, friends, it was actually only about 6 minutes. These are done. Wowie gazowie. Does that look good or what? And we're not even done yet. You may notice that we did not put all the jalapenos all over the place. Normally they will have them on a corner. So that way if somebody wants jalapenos, they can get some. If they don't want them, it's not already on the tray there. And it usually comes with a bunch of onions. We're gonna put those right here. Some people like to make tacos out of their chips and cheese and meat. Generally, you're gonna have some tomatoes as well. So we're gonna put those over here on this corner right here. All right, another thing that you're usually gonna have on here is a big old serving of guacamole. And last but not least, depending on how many people the botana's for,
what is that?
You're gonna get one quesadilla for each person.
It's a quesadilla, but what is it? It's like a what is that like?
That should do the job for us here today. We're sitting right.
It's like a still too. It's not like dripping. I don't know what it is.
Guacamole. And last but not least, depending on how many people the botana's for, you're gonna get one quesadilla for each person. That should do the job for us here today. We're sitting right here in front of this big, beautiful botana platter. Get you a big piece of chip here. You pass the tray around, everybody grabs whatever they want. And you know, you just take a big old bite. Guys, delicious. Delicious. You can take a little bit of guacamole on here too. Get a jalapeno,
right.
a little bit of onion, and the tomato doesn't fit, so we're good for now. Delicious. Friends, nachos don't get no better than that. I hope you've enjoyed this video. We're gonna enjoy this botana here next before it gets too cold. You can catch us at pitmaster.us for the Wow OG and the brisket rub. Y'all keep the smoke light, make it work, and boom! Don't forget the quesadilla too.
All right, what kind of quesadilla is it? Drinking at work? Oh, fuck.